Aroma so fragrant but fruity.
So sweet.
That's love, joy and peace and kindness and patience. The lover of your all of my life, so patent. 2 hours in the spirit, then it's curtain.
Part 3 of the car journey, so of my driving journey. Yo guys, thank you so much for all the feedback on the previous videos, all the conversations that we've been having on Instagram. Like, yo, you guys are making my day. Love you, love you, love you, love you, love you, love you. You guys are amazing. So yeah, we're gonna be talking about just everything that we've ended with on part 2, where we're talking about how, you know, I was spending so much money on my car, as well as the issues I was having with my car, as well as my mechanic who used to literally grill me every time I brought in to the garage because man, that car went through so much. So let's get into the story time. So you know what's so crazy about this car? I don't even want to insult Fiat because obviously their later models have been a lot better, and obviously I'm not trying to spoil a potential sponsorship, but that car specifically, that Fiat Punto, if you love your life, please don't buy that car, especially if it's an old reg. Don't buy that car. If you love your life, don't buy that car. That car would see the garage every 3 weeks. You know, when you used to get a student loan, everybody would travel, everybody would go out, everybody would go to their friends. Me, that student loan went to that car every 3 weeks. That was an issue. Like, there's a screenshot. This is a real screen because I had to dig for this because I couldn't remember what the garage was called. This is a screenshot, real screenshot. I didn't edit this. This is from one of my this is from one of the banks I used to use, of how much this car cost me in that month, so you can have an understanding of how much this car used to cost me. Every month there was an issue. Even my girl at the time would be like, yo, this car, because I used to complain to her, she used to be like, oh, how's the car? And I'd be like, this car is so crap. Every month she would always ask me like, oh, how's the car? And I always tell her that there's always something. And then she used to be like, I don't think I'm gonna learn to drive, because at this point, that car was a cash loss, man. Every month. So imagine now, I'll never forget, I'm driving a car with my brother. I'll never forget, I make a turn into a road that we live on. All I heard was tonk. My brother's like, what was that? I said, well, I don't know. And then I remember I couldn't change the gear. The gear was stuck on first gear. I said, hey, what's going on? Then the car was smelling of burning. It was like burning rubber. My brother got out of the car. He said, nah, I don't want to be here anymore. I said, wait, the car's not gonna blow up. It's bad watching too many movies. So now, yeah, he's gone home. I'm now taking that car. Imagine I was supposed to park it home. I was supposed to go play on my PlayStation. I'm supposed to have a good time. No, I'm pushing that car straight to the garage. Bruh. There was a garage not far from where I lived. Again, because there was two. There was one that one couldn't do MOT. The other one could, and he could do other stuff as well. So I used to always go to both. So obviously he's like, yeah, looks like the gear cables have snapped. I said, cool. So he was like, I want to check this out for you, blah, blah, blah. I'll give you a call the next like hour. So I've parked the car now, and he gives me a call. He said, yeah, it's going to cost you £280. I said, £280? I was like, it's gonna cost me £280 to fix this issue. I said, nah. And I swear, yeah, my brain started to work. I said, nah. The reason why it cost that much is because he went to the actual Fiat merchandise, the actual manufacturers of Fiat, to buy the gear cables, which was £180. And then the labor was £100. The labor, I'm not gonna like complain about. The labor was £100. There's no way I can get around that. But the part was 180, so it's going to be 200. I said, nah. So now I've done my research now, and I was able to find the same part. I think it was like £50. Yeah, brand new, £50. And I said, so imagine now, I'm doing my research. I'm looking at car journals. I'm looking at car forums. I'm looking at both of them, comparing. And then I'm like, this is the same thing. This one just says Fiat. Man ordered the thing. I gave it to him. So I ordered it, came the next day, gave it to him. And then he was like, yeah, it's going to cost you £130. Paid him. The car was working fine. Had no issues with the gear thing. I said, I saved myself £150 all because this guy decided to buy for the official merchandise. Nah. Obviously, you can get second-hand parts as well. They also do the job. But I was like, I want to get brand new, because I feel like if you buy second-hand in that car, I feel like second-hand doesn't make any sense for that car. You need to get anything new. Everything in that car has to be new because everything breaks down. Even when I bought the car, oh my days, I will never forget this car has really cost me so much headache. You know, the in-car charger, that wasn't working. The AC wasn't working. When that car was hot, you had to drive with all 4 windows down. When it was cold, for example, let's say I'm driving in like winter, so like November, December times, yeah, the car was perfect because it would get so warm, nice and easy. AC didn't work. Also, the key only worked on one side of the door. It didn't work on the other side. Also, when you lock the car, you have to push down one of the doors on the lock because it doesn't lock fully. Then, oh my God, the car's really been through a lot. I really don't know how I managed. Oh my God. I'm not thinking about it now. I remember, I'll never forget, my colleague was like, Femi, I'll buy the car off you. I said, if you buy that car off me, if I allow you to buy that car off me, I don't love you. And then she started laughing. I said, I don't love you. If you buy that car, I don't love you. And I said to them, I was so close to driving that car off the Thames. You know how in James Bond, he will drive it and then he will jump out the car. I was so close to doing that. Get somebody to put a ramp and I'll drive it off. That car, man. And everybody who I've spoken to who has that car has said they've experienced the exact same thing, if not worse. There is always an issue with that car every 3 weeks. I don't recommend it. The only good thing about that car was the fuel consumption. £42 to fill up the tank, and that car is lasting you for a long time. The fuel consumption on that car was fantastic, but other than that, that car was not good. I really hated it, man, driving in that car. I really, really hated that car. It's so funny because then, let's say we are in when I saw that car, was it 2015 or 2016? I can't even remember, but basically I was like, I'm done with this car. So just to make sure that I was getting maybe the most money out of it, which was probably such a backwards thing to do, but you know what, at the time I didn't care. I wanted to get rid of the car. I did an MOT test. Tell me why. As I've gone to do the MOT test, yeah, obviously you got the mechanic, he's berating me. I forgot, I need to even talk about that. The mechanic is berating me about my car. Tell me why. You know, one of the mechanics, he's looking at this and he's like, I'm not gonna touch that. Because basically, if he touches that, yeah, the price goes up. So you'd be like, I'm not gonna touch that. I'm not gonna touch that. I'm not gonna touch that. I said, Kai, this car is rubbish. Oh my God. How can I say, I'm not gonna touch that? I'm not gonna touch that. I'm not gonna touch that. The car is rubbish. For the sake of saving money. Yo, that car has been through a lot. Yeah, let me even go into the whole debacle with my mechanic. So imagine now, so I've got two. I've got one in my area and I've got one a bit further out, like he's like 15-20 minutes away. So my main one, he couldn't do MOT. So when I went to the other guy, he's like maybe a few years older than me, and he's like, oh, this car, how much do you buy it for? I told him £1,000. He said, you're an idiot. How did you buy this car for £1,000? Here's me just keeping quiet because I'm like, I don't know what to say. And he was just cussing me. Like every time he brought this car back, he was cussing me. He said, brother, throw this car away. This car's garbage. And I remember somebody, like, they kind of they really dented the car in such a way. I had to get that fixed now. Then somebody tried to kind of scratch their way into the car around where you put the key in. They fixed it for like 140, but they were like, no, you know what, we're not going to charge you, because literally the owner felt sorry for me. Imagine the owner, he even cut costs in some areas because he felt sorry for me. He was like, no, this car is terrible. It was so bad. And then now when I wanted to do MOT, just to make sure everything is good, it's like, sorry, not MOT. Why am I saying MOT? I wanted to service the car just to make sure everything was okay before I kind of go to We Buy Any Car, just kind of sell off the car, because I was done with this car. Imagine now, he's like, yeah, let's fix this, that. Cost me £150. I said, why? I said, yeah. And I remember now, booked the valuation thing. They were like, yeah, we probably can give you like 300, but I said, I don't care. Give it to me for £50. I don't want this car. Someone take it off me. Tell me why, when I'm on my way, making my way, yeah, I've made a wrong turn. So I've done like a 3-point turn. So I go back into first gear to drive. Literally, so I'm doing this on my gear stick to try and change it to reverse. It's not clicking into reverse. I'm in the middle of the road on 2 lanes. So cars coming up and down. And I'm blocking both lanes, trying to do a 3-point turn, and my car's not getting into gear. I was panicking. I was like, started the car, turned it off. I swear, people looking at me like, what the hell's this guy doing? I don't know how long I was there for, but I was there for a long time trying to change it. And I said, yeah, this is the sign that this car needs to piss off. I said, this is the sign. So now I've taken it over to We Buy Any Car. They've done the valuations. They're like, okay, we're going to knock off some money on here. I said, look, whatever. I didn't care. I think I sold it for like 150. I was like, look, I don't care. Get this car off me. I remember, I think something started to get wrong with it, because I remember now, I've given them the key. They wanted to check something else. As I've signed everything up, they're going to pay me. As I've walked off away from the car, I'm hearing something in the car that doesn't sound right. I started speed walking. I think I sped walk, and then when I was out of sight, I ran to the station. I was so done with this car. You don't understand. I didn't want anything to do with this car anymore. I was so done. Oh my gosh, this car really drove me insane. Oh, I said, yeah, I'm so happy I'm done. Oh, this car. And then in the next episode, I'm going to be talking about my car stereo getting robbed, how much I had to get that replaced twice, and I'm going to be talking about how my car got keyed up. Oh god, this car. And then we're going to be talking about how I started joining car clubs. And I think that might be the end of the whole kind of driving scenario. Actually, no, I might, if I have space, because again, I don't want these videos to be too long. I'm probably going to speak about how I drove automatic for the first time, and I was driving it like a go-kart because I had no idea what I was doing. And yeah, that's my, and I think the next, and I'm going to do another episode where I'm going to talk about all the cars that I've driven so far, what's my favorite, and kind of how I got those opportunities to drive those different cars, because obviously some people don't know that. For example, I've driven a Range Rover, which is probably the biggest car I've driven, and that car is really nice to drive. But yeah, I'm going to even have clips of that if I'm going to find it. But guys, it's been your boy Femizi, part 3. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys are enjoying this series as well, daily. But let me know, you know, what you want in the future series. Obviously, it's still going to be on Sundays. I'm not changing that. This one, I was just thinking it makes sense to release it day after day after day, just because there's a lot that's going on with driving. And yeah, so that's been your boy Femizi.
More light, more fire, bro, it's the same thing. Word make your flame shrink. Cause there's light in the word, and the light that's fire, that's how the chain link. What shall I render, Lord? Your mercy so tender, and your grace so great. Arrow spray back to sender. Sin never sly and so slender. She'll suck you in and set you up if you ever try friend her. I'll put a ring on light.